And welcome to Anne's Wellness Reset. As you know, things change when you're 50. I'm now 65. I'm in post-menopause, and I'm here to share with you what I've learned and what I continue to learn on this path. So what I want to talk about today is what I eat in a day with a particular focus on protein. Now, why is protein important? Well, during menopause, there's obviously a drastic decrease in the amount of estrogen that we produce. And with that, there's a loss of muscle mass called sarcopenia, as well as loss of muscle strength. So there's something that we could do to counteract that. We need to increase our protein intake, and we need to also do some form of resistance training or strength training to help build muscle and maintain our strength, or if not, build our strength. So how much protein do we need? Well, before menopause, we needed about 0.7 to 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. And after menopause, during menopause, post-menopause, we need 1.2 grams to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. So what does that look like? Well, I'm 128 pounds. Divide that by 2.2. That is 58.2 kilograms. Multiplied by 1.2 grams per kilogram body weight means my minimum protein intake per day should be about 70 grams and up to 90 grams. 90 grams if you're active and strength training. So my goal on a daily basis is to have a 90-gram intake of protein. And I find that I actually have to be quite intentional about it. The kinds of protein I take and the amounts of protein I take are thought out. So I've already done a video for you that you may have seen. It's on my high protein smoothie. I start with that sort of in the late morning. I have my workout mid-morning, and then after the workout, I will have a high protein um, smoothie. It has a whopping 40 grams of protein. The sources of protein in my smoothie are Greek yogurt. I've got an additional whey protein supplement. I've got collagen protein as well. And I also have soy milk in there. So I get 40 grams from the smoothie. That smoothie, which actually also has 400 calories, keeps me going all day. I'm really satisfied and not hungry until dinner time. So then at dinner time, my goal is to have another 35 to 45 grams of protein. So how do I do that? Well, I start focusing on the protein itself. I will always choose a lean beef, chicken, pork, or fish. And I will go for about 3 to 4 ounces. Now, 3 to 4 ounces of lean meat or fish will give you 24 to 32 grams of protein. Now, you can choose alternate sources of protein, plant sources of protein, such as chickpeas, lentils, soybeans. However, you need to eat an awful lot more in order to get the equivalent amount of protein. And not all of the plant sources of protein are complete proteins. In other words, they don't have all 9 essential amino acids that you need to get from food because your body doesn't produce them. Now, soybeans actually is the exception. It is a complete protein. So what I do is I tend to have meat protein as the primary protein, and then I can top it up with plant sources of protein. So because it all actually adds up and it just makes your eating a lot more interesting. So then that's a small amount of protein though, when you think about it, 3 to 4 ounces of meat. And then I really focus on the vegetables. I will always consume about 2 to 3 cups of vegetables. If it's a salad, of course, more. If it's pure vegetables, maybe it'll be closer to 2 cups. So that's going to give me all of my vitamins, my minerals, some more minerals, flavonoids, etc. And actually fiber and a whole lot more nutrients that we all need. And then, of course, I'm going to add the complex carbohydrates. Now, I don't avoid complex carbohydrates. I just know that they are going to increase my blood glucose a little, so I have to have them with fats and proteins, and I control the amount. I won't have more than about a half a cup of complex carbohydrates, whether that be brown rice, quinoa, potato, sweet potato, what have you. About a half a cup is all I need. And I'm often going to add nuts and seeds. If I'm going to have a salad, for example, I will often add seeds such as pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds to my salad. So tonight, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm having for dinner. I've got now the protein. This is my leftover pork tenderloin that I made yesterday. Now, this, as you can see, it's two fairly thick slices of pork tenderloin. I weighed them and they're 3 ounces. So 3 ounces of pork tenderloin is about, let me just see here, about 24, 25 grams of protein. I'm going to heat that up. I'm going to have a little bit of a sauce or something with that. And what I'm going to have on the side, actually, the main portion of the plate, is going to be a big salad. Now, what I'm going to use in my salad, believe it or not, this is kale and parsley from my garden. Now, it looks like a lot. I'm going to chop it up real fine. I'm going to massage it with a little bit of olive oil and sea salt so that it's going to be very nice and tender. I'm going to add these wonderful vegetables, new little peppers, nice cherry tomatoes. I'm going to add a little bit of avocado. Now, the additional sources of protein include 2 tablespoons, you can see here, of pumpkin seeds. Now, the pumpkin seeds have about 8 grams of protein, and I've got a half a cup of quinoa, and that's going to give me another 4 grams of protein. And I'm adding a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese for another 6 grams of protein. So between the pork tenderloin, the quinoa, the pumpkin seeds, and the Parmesan, I have 42 grams of protein. So the 42 grams for dinner plus the 40 grams in my smoothie, that's 82 grams. Now, that's my dinner. I tend to not have dessert. I'll probably have tea with a little bit of milk in it. And if I am hungry later, I will have a snack, and the snack will consist likely of a couple of tablespoons of almonds, a little bit of fresh fruit. So the almonds are going to give me another 4 grams or so of protein. So you can see how I'm reaching my 90 gram or so goal for protein. So that's about it. I'll also make a wonderful salad dressing for that salad with some olive oil. I always make it from scratch. Actually, I will make a video in the future on 3 salad dressings that you want to always have available in your fridge that are homemade, and they're wonderful. So I'm going to make one of those this evening. So that's about what I do on a daily basis. As you can see, I try to keep it simple. I focus on the protein. I divide my 90 grams into 2 to 3 eating periods. And that's pretty well a typical day. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I invite you to subscribe, and I hope you'll join me for my next videos. My next 2 videos are really going to be about how to get motivated to work out and what's the best workout to do when you're post-menopause. All right? Thank you very much. See you on the next one.